Peace, y'all. It is Kai Love. I am here to deliver an important message. This is a PSA. Attention, all student loan borrowers who attended for-profit institutions. Something happened to me over the weekend that was divine in nature. So I'm sleepy and I'm trying to find something on the interwebs. And I go and I type in the query box the spelling of what I was looking for, and it was certainly the wrong spelling of what I was looking for. But because I was sleepy, I kept trying, still couldn't get to what I was looking for. And on the last attempt of misspelling this search item, found myself on a website that was absolutely something that I needed to know and understand and take action on. Now, certainly, we've all typed wrong, had our hands positioned incorrectly on the QWERTY keyboard, so we weren't able to get to the web page that we intended to. But even in typing in the wrong thing, I got to the right message. So I landed on a website that was talking about a recent ruling in student loan borrowers' cases. And I have a significant amount of student loans because I have a bit of an educational background, if you will. So that caught my attention, and I was able to consume some information that I think will be helpful to other people. And I've been passing this on one by one since I found out over the weekend, but thought it might be better served if I do a quick little video. So basically, what has occurred here is that there is a process called the Borrower Defense Loan Discharge. And this is a process that's offered by the federal government through their student aid department that will dismiss your student loans if you attended an educational institution that has caused harm, acted in an unethical manner, moved with malfeasance to get your enrollment and further your dollars. So let's roll this story back a couple of years. Back when President Obama was in office, he instituted this process, and there was a ruling made against Corinthian College and whatever schools that fall under the banner of Corinthian College, where those people who took out student loans to attend that college or certification programs therein, that their student loans were eliminated, that they went away. They went on to glory. They're not even on the credit reports no more. So those were wiped out because it was determined that that school, which I believe opened in the 90s and closed in 2015, had done wrong by its students and had given out information that was not appropriate. So that process of application for student loan borrowers, that process was still open, and people were not only making complaints about Corinthian College and all of the schools under those banners, but other for-profit institutions. And so when President Obama left office after his 2 terms, and that other dude got up in there, he appointed Betsy DeVos as the Secretary of Education. So people were applying for discharge based on malfeasance that was demonstrated or exhibited by their for-profit institution, and the educational department that was being ran by Betsy DeVos was summarily rejecting these applications, which is horrible that they were not taken into consideration and that they were not given the due diligence. And so a lawsuit was then filed on behalf of the borrowers whose claims were summarily dismissed. And so there's a long case history of the initial lawsuit that was filed back when President Obama was in office up until currently. So the lawsuit that was filed against Betsy DeVos and company for summarily dismissing those claims and not taking those claims seriously came into fruition. So on June 22nd, there was a settlement agreement that happened. So there are people who've been applying for discharge because they have claimed that the for-profit institution that they attended had wrongdoing in their transactional, space. You were a student and you felt like you didn't get what you deserved. So all of those people who have submitted those applications up until June 22nd are considered the class. And then anyone who applies for discharge after June 22nd, but before the case goes to federal court for approval, will be considered almost as like the post-settlement class, if that makes sense to you. And that is where I'm going to be included, with hopes that on July the 22nd, 2022, the federal government does what is right and actually approves this settlement, in which case there will be precedents for us that apply after, but before the settlement is approved, so that we also can be included in the discharge process. So let me say that again, just in case I confused anyone, and including myself. If you applied for discharge under this process prior to June 22nd, when the proposed settlement, they made a deal, is basically what happened, was done, then you are considered the class. If you apply from June 22nd until July 28th, you are considered the post-decision class. But because there's going to be precedents that's present for those in the class, there's no reason that anyone in the post-decision class shouldn't be considered. So if you are in the decision class and you attended one of these over 150 for-profit schools that are included in this settlement and your loans are discharged, then certainly those in the post-decision class, per the law, should also be considered. Otherwise, folks is going to probably be coming and bringing some other lawsuits. So, I have a link to an article where they list the 150 plus for-profit schools. If you have attended one of these for-profit schools and had taken out student loans, I encourage you to engage with the Federal Department of Student Aid and complete their process to seek for discharge under what they call the borrower defense process. Again, if you've attended one of these 150 plus for-profit schools and you know something didn't go right. In my case, I attended a school that made promises around being able to transfer credits into their program so that I would finish sooner. And when I enrolled and paid my first semester of tuition, I received a letter that stated that not all of the credits that they said I was going to be afforded were approved. And so I didn't get as many transferable credits into this institution as was originally promised. Midway through the program, they made an announcement that they did not have accreditation that would lead to licensure, which was the reason why I was in the program to begin with, which is why I then had to go to an additional institution and try to bring my credits with me to the new institution, and was informed by the new institution that my credits were not transferable because this institution was not accredited, which means that I then had to take all of those courses over. And I lost money, I lost time, low morale. There's damages, wasting my time and resources. But there wasn't a process in place for people like me who went to a for-profit institution in my attempt to improve my quality of life for myself and for my family. And I know many of you out there have done the same thing. You work in your job, but you have a desire to do better. You want to move into a different salary, wage range. You want to pivot into a new career opportunity, and enrolled in these for-profit institutions with the hope that it would be life-changing for you, and it ended up being disastrous. And this lawsuit is for us. It's to help to provide justice for people like me and for people like you. So I am including this video on my Facebook. Feel free to share it to whomever you think you need to share it to. In my post, I will also link the actual documentation to the website that talks about the lawsuit. I will also provide a link to an article that I found when I was doing my bad querying that lists all of the 150 plus for-profit schools that are being considered in this settlement. And I will link you to the student aid webpage that will provide the process for you to do your application. Again, to be considered in this process under this settlement, you must apply prior to July 28th. Can't talk about what's going to happen post July 28th. I don't know. But I got my application in, so I know that I'm part of the post decision class. And I am hoping, again, that justice is served and I will be able to recoup some damages by way of a discharge for student loans that I took for a for-profit institution that had some malfeasance with my educational journey and experience. I want justice, and I want justice for you too. So please, if at the very least, study to show yourself approved. That's what the good book says. Now, if you're not no reader, that's why the good Lord sent me up in here to do this video for you. Just call me the intercessor. I am here to help to get you where you need to go. So at the very least, go and apply to be considered so that you are included in the settlement post-decision class, and potentially can have these student loans wiped off of your record, removed from your credit. People won't even know it's there. And for people who've been struggling to buy houses, buy vehicles, and whatever you need your credit to do in your life, if these student loans are gone, just imagine how many points your credit score is going to shoot up because now your income to debt ratio is totally different, right? If you've already paid off your student loan and you attended a for-profit institution that you are stating had some wrongdoing, they are going to refund your money to you if the settlement is approved on July the 28th. So again, I'm going to post the links to everything that I know. I'm not the expert here. I just discovered this on Saturday, y'all. Okay? So I did my due diligence and felt like I had a case and went ahead and made my application. I encourage you to do so too. The only way we impact change is by taking action. So, in order for us to have a case and be able to talk about this for years to come, we got to make sure that we have people that are included in the class for consideration, whether that's the pre class or the post class, like I'm doing or have done. So, I hope that this was helpful. Please share this among your networks, and I will keep you posted around anything that impacts me personally as it pertains to this particular issue. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day and be blessed.